You may remember I did a video on Dota not that long ago. One of the things I'm always fascinated by is the Dota community and its sense of entitlement and how they're fucking so pathetic. They're just the spoilt brats of esports. Like Rocket League are the brain dead Zoomers, you know? Counter-Strike is sort of like the brain dead chuds, you know? They're very chuddy. Overwatch was sort of all the Tumblr sex weirdos. Valorant is all the, right on rioters. Every community's a little bit different, and I walk among all of them. But basically, the one thing you can guarantee from the Dota community is they want it all, they want it for free. If they don't get it, it's because Valve hates them and is doing a terrible job. When they do get it, it's never enough. So that's just what you're dealing with the Dota community. So 24 days ago, they were all freaking out because there was a post TI patch 7.43e, and all it did, it was a balance patch, super small. They made a couple of changes to some of the heroes that were like out of control with like a 56-58% win rate, so they made some adjustments to dial it down, and it didn't really do all that much, but it did sort of knock their win rates down a little bit, not enough that they fell out of favour. Everyone was still picking Wraith King off lane, etc, 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 and for some reason Lycan just emerged as the broken hero for a few weeks, which was just super sort of awful and toxic to play into. My mic is crackling. Why would it be crackling? It's normal now. I don't know. Well, probably Riot fucking investigating my shit. Anyway, the bottom line is it was a balance patch, and they lost their shit because they were like, even though Valve had just done fucking TI, they still were expecting some huge patch with a ton of content. And I want Frostivers. And they had a mass Benny formation. They had a total fucking Benny about it. And I don't understand why they do this every single time. And I don't understand why fucking Valve fucking pander to them when they do this every single time. But they do. It'd be hilarious if it wasn't so sad. 24 days later, guess what? Valve have given them a huge patch. So for 24 days, Valve was scum. Absolute scum. But they're back now. We love them now. But not for long. Let me just show you what Valve did. And by the way, speaking as a guy from CS, let me know when we've ever had anything like this in Counter-Strike. I'd be super interested. Because apparently, nobody works on Dota anymore. A player said so. Yotoro's opinions are sacrosanct. Because he agrees with Reddit. Right? So here we go. This was the dark night before Frostivus. For those who don't know, you don't play Dota, Frostivus is some sort of seasonal event where you get, reasons to play, and you unlock skins, and there's, festive themed stuff, and stupid little games you play, and, little achievements you can unlock in the game. And so here it is, the dark night before Frostivus. They did a little poem, just to tease what they were going to put in. 'Twas Frostivus Eve, and all across the map, the neutrals were quiet, their camps left unstacked. We'd gorged on a feast of blue horn and spiced creep, and had just settled in for a peaceful night's sleep, when upon the roof, with a house-shaking thud, a creature had landed and sniffed for our blood. What's blood waffling about? A sword could be heard being dragged across the shingles. Then the chimney exploded, and in came King Kringle. His silhouette stalked through the splintered debris of branches and cinders where once been our tree. He righted an armchair, still quietly smouldering, and sat down with 3 sacks. See a doctor about that. He'd been up till now shouldering. A dark incantation, his hollow voice boomed, like a sepulchral drum being banged in a tomb. A sack of gifts present, a sack of gifts past, a sack of gifts taken, but often brought back. Excuse me, I said, crawling out from the rubble. The gift that I'd like, if it's not too much trouble. Please don't kill my children. Please don't kill my wife. We'd rather you left and spared everyone's life. He emptied a sack and adjusted his helm. The first sack of gifts is unknown to this realm. The Nemesis curse, the whisper of dread, the moonlight tiara, and much more, he said. In the ensuing silence, not a long breath was drawn. I coughed to help jog him. Well, please, do go on. His gauntleted hand dumped sack 2 on our floor. It was full of new items. Wait, I'd seen these before. Some gifts I've improved, and some I've deranged. All that need concern you is that they have changed. The orb of corrosion, arcane boots, bloodthorn. These and more I have altered since last they were worn. We looked through the items he'd spilled on the floor. These are lovely, I told him, but you'd hinted there's more. My third gift, he said as he grabbed the last sack, is my favourite kind, the gift I take back. Not ring of Aquila, please not Titan sliver, not penta-edged sword, I sobbed with a quiver. I'm taking them all, he said with a laugh, and quickening charm, and good old quarterstaff. 2 sacks were now empty, the third one was stuffed. He grabbed them and back up the chimney he huffed. He sprang to his bone sleigh and winked a goodbye, then flew from the roof and tore open the sky. And we heard him exclaim as he left the facilities, the Tormentor and Roshan shall have new abilities. Right, this is a fucking poem for patch notes, mate. And you get it the fucking day before they actually drop all the shit. Never had that in CS, by the way, just never, right? And you can say this is cringe or whatever, but you know, shows they give a shit. It's a good little teaser, isn't it? Right? And so people posted this on Reddit, and they were going, oh, please don't let me down. Please don't let me down, Daddy Valve. And then before they even had chance to say why it was shit and demand things they were going to get, they updated it. Boom. Bosh. In. About, a few hours later. And so, here you go. Another Frostivus is upon us, and that means King Kringle has awakened from his hibernation under the wine-dark blood seas surrounding Frostivus Castle. And it says here, you're going to get a gift, there's some premium sets, quality of life, you can read the notes, we're going to get to them. But then it goes, on the other hand, if you're on the naughty list, we've got great news for everybody else and bad news for you, because this year's going to be a bloodbath. You might remember back in September, we got out the ban hammer and permanently banned 90,000 Smurf accounts. Now remember, the fucking Dota cretins were saying, go watch the videos, they don't do enough about Smurfs. They banned 90,000 accounts in September, and now it's October, and what are they doing now? Like literally, they were like losing their fucking mind, right? And it said, since then, we've continued to invest in player behavior monitoring. Remember, why is there no content in the game? Totally overhauled the player behavior system, of course. So they were monitoring that the whole time on both the manual and automatic analysis fronts. Over the last few weeks, we've engaged in an even more aggressive ban wave, including many tens of thousands of Smurf account bans to date alone. At the International, yeah, you remember that, which was in Seattle, and all Valve staff were there, all the Dota team were there working on that, but you don't give a shit because they didn't gouge you with 4 more on a battle pass that you said you didn't even want. You are morons, by the way. If you are absolute morons to a man in that community. Some pro players reached out to us to talk about their Smurf accounts. Those conversations have continued, and there's a broad agreement among pros that banning pro Smurf accounts is a win for Dota as a community. The rules should apply to everybody, and from now on, they will. And Smurfing isn't even the only naughty thing players are getting up to. Among other questionable choices, some bad actors are playing like jerks, ruining games, losing behavior score because of it, then hiring behavior score farmers to drive it back up. Now, in case you don't know about this phenomenon, because for some reason, listen, I'm not unsympathetic. Dota is a brain-breaking game, and I've said it a million times. Why? You and 4 other people, often people who barely or don't speak your language, with different ideas about how the game is played, who have been brainwashed by the community, who said 6 years ago, all that matters is farm, to the point where all anyone does now is farm. You have to somehow corral those people and all get on the same page using pidgin English to fucking achieve a common goal of winning a game of Dota, which might not even be possible based on the way you've drafted, based on the way you itemize, based on timings, based on a variety of things, including, by the way, the other team corralling their group faster or just being better. So that is about as stressful as a video game can get. And so, naturally, people go fucking bananas. They lose their fucking mind all the fucking time, and it can come out in bad ways. I've said many times, right, I would never stream Dota because I'm not a good person. when I'm playing it. I play with a lot of people who are like much, much higher in MMR than me. You know, I'm talking, you know, like Divine. Immortals and Divine level. And a few Ancient players as well. My account's like a fucking Archon now. I like recalibrated when I was in Legend and fucking lost like 2k MMRs. Don't ever recalibrate. So it's the lesson here. But anyway, you know, because of that, like I'm learning lessons from better players. And, you know, when I go into a game, I try and apply those principles. And people don't really get those principles. People don't know that. And so it's very frustrating, particularly as a support player, to try and corral the cause to do the right things at the right time and push towers and all that stuff. So I'm raging all the time. I'll add, no matter how much I've raged, and I say outrageous shit, it's not pleasant. No matter how much I've raged, my player behavior score hasn't gone below 10k. So for the pros and the high level players, they are on some other shit. And they rage all the time, and everybody's bad except them. And so what ends up happening is they get mass reported and their behavior score is dog shit. And so a service has come up where people will play games and say nothing and type nothing for you. They log into your account, play 10 games in silence, and then that mitigates the negative behavior score because the pros don't trust themselves not to do it. And a number of people have done this. By the way, it's completely against TOS, right? It's very explicit. Having people log into your account to play games is explicitly against TOS. So just in case you don't know what that is, because it's relevant to the next part of the stream. That's why. Regardless of how you've been naughty, we're watching you, not while you're sleeping, calm down, and we're cracking down on all of it. Punishments will be handed out for all of the above, including behavior score penalties, and in serious cases, main account bannings. As we've said before, smurfing and other negative behavior makes matches worse, and we want to make sure your matches are as good as possible as we head into the new year. So we'd like to wish everyone a happy Frostivus update, except Smurf accounts, who we assume will not enjoy the update as they choke on their richly deserved coal-flavoured just desserts. And so you're like, well, what does that mean? I did see a clip, and it's probably the funniest thing I've seen related to Dota 2. And that is not, by the way, Dota 2 is just hilarious. Like, it's just a fucking funny game, and everyone's a psycho who plays it. And anyway, so Mason is a popular streamer, very popular streamer. But he's also, like a lot of top players, considered very toxic, and not without reason. He does rage. In fact, I'll tell you a little anecdote before we get to the real funny, and this is a true story. Back when Mason was a stand-in for EG when they went to TI, I was working at a site called Esports Heaven. It turned out that Mason in solo queue had been spamming racist slurs, and there's Reddit threads about this. You can go and find them. I'm not trying to impugn his reputation. He wouldn't be the first or the last who's done things like that, and indeed it was sort of a different time. You know, not saying it's ever acceptable, but, you know, people used to fucking make excuses for it. Anyway, I ran that story, and the reason I ran that story as an editor of a website was because Evil Geniuses had a history of firing players for using racist slurs, and quite famously, their owner, Alex Garfield, said he had a degree in, I think it was Black History, and therefore was super sensitive to it and wouldn't employ people that denigrated people with racial epithets. And so, me being me, I was like, listen, if that's true, mate, why are you taking this guy to the fucking, TI as a stand-in, just because you need a stand-in? Anyway, the Dota community said, Richard Lewis is a cunt. This is pre-loader as well, by the way. He's a muckraking cunt, and he should leave Mason alone, and leave EG alone, and this is terrible journalism, and there's no case to answer, and EG can do what they want. And it got downvoted on Reddit. And what's super interesting is, I would find out after I left Esports Heaven, years later, somebody deleted that article off the website. So someone from EG reached out to them, or maybe Mason, or someone, I don't know. But that article got nuked. I can't even link to the original. Anyway, fast forward years later, and I'm running a Dota event in Las Vegas. And Mason came along. And I met him. And he remembered the story. And he hit me up and he said, yo, do you remember when you wrote that story about me? And I went, yeah. And he said, yeah, that really sucked. That was like a shitty thing to do. You know, I could have not gone to like that TI, and I could have lost like, you know, we made money at that one. I got a decent share of money from it. It was like, you know, very important for me. And I'm just like trying to get into the mindset of, you know, why you would do that as a journalist and whatnot. And I said, well, look, this is why. And I explained the history of EG and why I thought they had a case to answer. And, you know, it's never personal, mate. I don't think you should be saying those things. But realistically, it's about keeping orgs accountable to be consistent in their own behavior. And he went, yeah, okay, yeah, I sort of get that. And we hung out. And he in person, he was a decent dude. So I got nothing against him, right? I want to make that clear. Didn't then, don't now. But anyway, he is a bit of a melt. When he plays his fucking Dota, he goes psycho all the time. It's pretty much why people tune in. He's kind of like the shock jock of like the Dota world. A lot of people think it's Quinn. It's Mason, in my opinion, is definitely worse. At least Quinn is erudite when he flames you. Quinn will say things like, yeah, you're a fucking absolute cretin and this is why. Mason will just scream animal noises. So, you know, I don't know. But anyway, he was streaming Dota last night. And as I said, as a way to roll out a ban. This is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen in a video game. Here we go. As you've seen from the Frost of Us update, they are doing gifts.
A gift chest. Oh. Owned. Open gift. What did I get? What? I got banned? Till 118? What?
And the best part about that fucking clip is he didn't even realize it was 2038 was the year. He just thought it was like a ban to the 80, but no, it's a perma ban essentially. It's like a 15-year fucking ban. Like, and so as you'll see, the reason for the ban is because he was the guy they were talking about in the Frost of Us update, among others. Others have done this, where his behaviour score was so bad, so he got people to like farm his games, farm his behaviour score, completely against the TOS, and, you know, obviously game ruining for those people who think they're getting a good player, and they could be getting anyone of any level. Also, worth noting, when your account gets banned, you can't sell. It's only if your Steam account gets banned, I think. But what's interesting there is it also brought up something about VAC secured servers. So I don't even know. Because if you're VAC banned, you can't sell your items. So, but anyway, he got his toxic lump of coal. I opened mine today. And do you know what I got? I got a treasure. And I got an extremely rare Timbersaw skin. That's what I got. Not as toxic as Mason. So anyway, I was like, uh-oh. But that's that. I mean, I admit I'm gross in Dota, but so think about what he has to be doing. Is what I'm saying. So, okay, there was that clip, and then turned out that he went and started streaming. It looked like WoW Classic, and he was upset. He was legitimately upset. And by the way, I'm sure some of you will still find this funny. I'm never gonna mock anyone like crying. I cried on stream myself. Make no bones about it. I've done it in years. I'm usually I am a crier. Like, I let it out. Nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a good cry. Men bottle stuff up. I just don't. Like, I cry at movies. It's good. It's good to cathartically fucking get it out. So I'm a crier. I'm a blubber in more than one way. But anyway, he did get upset when he realized what the year was.
Sorry, boys. I'm emotional. You know, it's I think what really bothers me the most is that I've been playing this game for like 12 years. 12 years. I'm not the I can't talk.
Now, I'm just going to say, right, listen, if I cared this much about Dota, right, and it's fair to say I'm invested in Dota, right? I prefer Dota to Counter-Strike. It's a better game. I play it with my friends. I love my late night stacks with my friends. It's how I keep in touch with my American friends, although it just leads to arguments, and then we all have to go and play Valheim for like weeks at a time to sort of de-stress, because we all hate each other because, you know, somebody miscast an ult. But it's all good. You know, it's fair to say I'm invested in the game. But if I was disinvested in the game to the point where a permaban would fucking have me in tears, I'm going to just be real about it here, right? Here's some things I wouldn't be doing, particularly, by the way, if I had a lucrative stream with 240,000 Twitch followers who, specifically come to the stream to watch me play high-level Dota, what I would probably do is, it's fine to be a cunt every now and then, it's fine to flame people, nobody's going to beef about that. What I wouldn't do, what I absolutely wouldn't do, is jeopardize my livelihood by breaking the TOS. I would not do that. That is the one thing I would never do. I would never have anyone log into my account. I wouldn't even, do anything that looks, I wouldn't smurf. I wouldn't create, alts or whatever. Because we know Valve's stance on this. And now that they've clarified it, by the way, because, again, I'm sympathetic. If you're 10k MMR, you queue for an hour. It's Arteezy. I've sat and watched Arteezy. He plays slots now to break up the monotony. But I've sat and watched Arteezy literally queue for an hour on a stream before, and it's I get it, man. I wouldn't want to wait an hour for a game. So Valve have to do something better about high-level matchmaking, but, I heard that got addressed, and it's not as bad these days. I don't know. I'll never play that MMR. I'll never be good enough. But anyway, if I cared this much, I just wouldn't do the fucking things that were going to lead to this outcome. But what's mental is, right, Reddit are against Smurfs, right? And Reddit have always said Valve should be doing more. Now, I just want to show you, okay, just some of the reactions. So, the initial reaction, by and large, was just good. Great update. If the only thing that was in the update was Mason getting banned, seems Reddit would have been happy. That's where they're at. Handing out the ban as a wrapped gift is based beyond belief. Absolutely it is. Morons asking the question, if you never opened the gift, would they have still gotten banned? Yeah. Yes, of course. They even changed it moments after that where you have to open the gift when you go into the game now. Anyway, that was pretty funny, but I think a perma was a little much. Interesting. Okay, all right. That is hilarious, but there's no way he stays banned. Right? Oh, okay, all right. On the one hand, this is hilarious. On the other hand, I think a perma ban is too much. I don't know. It's hard to get right, but I think they've gone too far with this one. All right, okay. This is the subreddit, by the way, that literally cries about Smurfs in every game. Basically, in Dota, it's how in CS everyone has, there's 4 spin buttons in every game. This is Smurf in every game. No, you're just getting shit on by better players, dude. They're not Smurfing, they're just better than you. Shut the fuck up. Get good. But no, it's just Smurf. But suddenly now, a high profile, I don't understand, why was he banned? High profile Smurf gets banned, and immediately the narrative has to go the other way to what they always say every other single time. So there was that. There was the response to the clip I played you. Then somebody posted Mason's statement about it, right? You can see here, I feel like I should write something down somewhere, and since I think Twitter only does threads and you have to view each thread, I feel like it's a bit messy and this may be a better place. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Hey everyone, Mason Dota 2 here. Valve tonight perm ban my Dota 2 account. I have no idea if that means I can never play Dota again, but I hope that it isn't the case. On to why I was banned and how I feel. About a month ago, I kept having varied player behaviour score reports. Sometimes I would go up to 8k. Right, by the way, 8k is not high. 10k used to be the highest, it's now 12k. And be able to use my mic and coordinate with my team. If you fall below 8k, you get muted, I think. I think it's 8k is the threshold, it might be 6k. And it really gave me a good feeling. I felt like I was winning more too. Who knew in a game about communication? And it was just overall a more pleasant experience to play tryharding to my fullest capabilities. But usually soon after, I would drop below 8k communication score and be unable to use my mic. What could have happened in that time? I found games to be much harder to play and win and much less enjoyable when I couldn't try as hard as I wanted to. Using my mic and just communicating is an integral part of Dota, especially as the game has become more team-oriented over the last few years. Now keep in mind, the last clip I saw of Mason playing a game, he ran down mid. I think he might have been a life stealer, I can't quite remember. He ran down mid, they were meant to be taking high ground. He dived 5 of their team that were grouped up to defend, died, then screamed, "Why is no one doing anything? Why is no one doing anything?" And then he smashed his keyboard a bit. If I'm hearing that on a mic, like, I'm probably going to report you. I'm probably going to report you even if you don't have a mic, because you've just done something fucking dumb. If you're the only one grouping, you're not grouping. Do you know what I mean? I know, and honestly, because Dota players exist in this quantum state of being where they're always right and everyone else in their team is bad, like, people will say that. I was grouped. A group is multiple people, homie. You weren't. We were, but whatever. Anyway, it made me upset. And even though at times I truly tried everything in my power to be PMA or simply non-inflammatory, never typing or doing anything like pinging my allies when they make mistakes, it seemed like my behaviour score kept dropping no matter what I did. I soon went to 7k, then to 6k, then right below 6k. 5,950. Most of the time, I'm not perfect and will never claim to be. I genuinely believe I was trying to be a decent teammate. There were even times where someone in my team would call me dog shit or blame me for no reason, and I would just say, yeah, that was my fault, my bad, but just keep playing. Or someone first picking carry, never engaging with the game, and no one flaming or saying, you're just describing Dota here, mate. Fine. Out of frustration and trying to be a good guy for most of the time, and it seemingly having no effect, in fact, my con behaviour score was dropping, I decided to buy a behaviour score boost. The booster did about 1 day, 10 games or so, and I believed I received 200 communication score. I went from 6k to 6.2. After 1 day of this, I decided I didn't really want to do this. I'd rather just play Dota 2 and whatever happens to my behaviour score happens to it. I made a mistake in trying to fix my problem through someone else. I admit that, and while I can sit here and say things like it was only 9 other people who wanted the same things in those games, no one was hurt, games were ruined, or my communication score didn't even change, I stopped it before I gained 2k, I still did do something I shouldn't have done, and I do apologise. I apologise because whether I like it or not, I'm a streamer, and my actions are seen and heard by thousands of people. And if I show them this is okay, and this is how you deal with your problems, I've failed. This is absolutely the wrong way to deal with your problems. I've played Dota for 13 years. I've never once cheated, never abused a bug, never abused any sort of MMR tricks, language queue, feeding for someone else, etc. I care about the integrity of the game. Dota is a game I truly enjoy and appreciate. Hell, I don't even smurf because I just don't like playing versus people who are worse than me. I don't think it's fair to them, and I don't think it's a good use of my time. I love the competitive aspect. In fact, it's what led me to do this behaviour score boost thing. I just wanted to play good games again and be able to talk to my teammates so we could do the most we could do to win. I'm not trying to justify it, absolutely not. I'm just trying to show you what went on in my mind. Anyway, goes on to say, I love Dota, blah, blah. I want to keep streaming it. Please let me not face the consequences for my actions. Love, a streamer. Now, obviously, again, if this was me, I'm not apologising. Fuck that. If you genuinely believe the behaviour scores system is broken to the point of you having to boost to get out of it, then you should probably stand by that. You should probably stand on that opinion. I don't think it was. I just think you were getting reported probably because you were being a cunt. Like, again, I say that as a cunt. I have a little bit of insight into cuntery in Dota. I'm a massive cunt in my games, and yet I've never dropped below 10k. How is that possible? People are reporting me. I know. You get told. But my behaviour score will fluctuate between, 12 and 10. Never go too far down. By the way, when you see it going down, usually I'll have a break now. I'll have a break, or I'll play some unranked, or I'll play with some friends, or I'll play a turbo. I'll just de-stress, come back when I'm not in as much of a cunty mood. That's that. But apparently, the man whose career it rotates around this game can't do it. Now, this is a funny thing. The responses to that apology are pretty negative. But the Mason fans are all coming in and they're all saying, switch to League, do a redemption arc, you could be Dota's Tyler 1, that type of stuff. And I thought it was weird because honestly, when you go and you look at some of the threads that have since been posted, I'm like, I don't know what you want anymore, Dota 2 community. Now, not all of these are upvoted, but, you know, it is what it is. I just want to show you a temperature check of how it's never enough for the average Dota player. This should just be the poster boy for toxicity has been banned. They'll probably revise it down from a perma. You know, he's shown contrition. I'm sure Valve will be like, okay. They shouldn't budge on it. They wouldn't budge on it for you. Like, this is the reality. You can't have it both ways. I believe certain exceptions should be made for the pros. But that's not a popular opinion. I don't think pros should be treated the same, and they should have somebody they can back channel to because they're pros. That's what I think. You don't think that, Reddit. So, okay, this is it. This is where we have to be now, right? So, if everyone gets treated the same, this is the reality. You would get permabanned if you behaved like him. So here it is. There is nothing wrong with what Mason did, and here is why. As a good player myself, obviously everyone on Reddit's 10k. I know that many other good players would agree with me that communication is really important. When I play my style kind of game, I will move my teammates in a way that it benefits me and my teammates because, of course, I want to win. There's no full stop, so now let's talk about average low MMR players that don't know how important communication is. These type of players don't use their mic, they don't care at all, and they cannot lead their team, make calls, and they will hard stock in their MMR forever, or maybe they can wait 5 more years so they can get another MMR boost from Valve. Not being able to communicate even in good games will result in a loss, and I feel like they shouldn't have taken that from any kind of players, toxic or not. If someone is making a bad call or being toxic, I'll just mute them. If he can't communicate, I can't understand him, therefore we can't win as easy. And if there were communication involved, now about boosting behavior score, if the system is punishing callers and leaders of teams, then it's just a bad system. Any bad player would blame report others when they lose for no reason, and if I were Mason, I would do the same thing that he did. Why would I waste time playing pointless turbo all pick games for BH boost when no one even knows how to increase BH score? I'd rather put time to grind for top MMR than pointless pick all pick turbo games. Also, I'm pretty sure lots of bad players are going to disagree. Stay in your prison forever, buddy, and don't bother commenting. Not a full stop to be found in that entire post. The education system has failed. Then, because hating Russians is all the rage these days, in fact, Face It are monetizing that right now. I don't know if you've seen that. Face It have literally advertised on CS. This is unrelated to Dota, but just interesting. They're going, we are now actually, if you compare to be locked into a region for language reasons. Language. And of course, everyone's going, yeah, no more Russians. I'm like, this was xenophobia last year. This was xenophobia before the Ukraine invasion, but okay. Weird how it changes. If you ban Mason, maybe you should ban Russian-speaking content creators who play on Smurfs. And then he links a bunch, full snitching. They never get banned. Well, again, shall we wait and see? Now that Valve have publicly said they are going to ban all the Smurfs. No, they never get banned. They never get banned. Missing the point entirely. A thread. Except Mason. Which famous Dota player, streamer, pro or content maker was also banned? I'm really curious to see how this no exception for pros rule works, especially after seeing all RTZ Smurfs not being banned, and then it lists a bunch of other players. Well, again, keep in mind, it's not really about that. What I imagine has happened is there's been an amnesty on Smurfs for the pros, and the pros have said to Valve, these are my accounts, and those accounts have probably been banned, and they've been allowed to keep their mains. That would be a sensible way to approach the problem, and as Valve are by and large sensible, I will believe that's what happened. What Mason did is he got a boosting service to log into his account. He's publicly admitted it. Everybody knew he was doing it, so he's been banned as per the TOS. That's what's going on. I know we love to, Valve, the conspiracies. No, he's just been banned. Again, he did the thing you can't do. Mason being banned led this individual to realise that actually the thing I complain about all the time, toxicity, is okay actually, because I like the guy that was doing it on stream. Look at this. He says, any piece of shit who smurfs and cheat being banned is good. I'm happy about that. And then he says here, being toxic is basically permitted by the rules of the game. It's not suggested, obviously, but it is punishable by making you play with the same idiots like you. But what is awesome is it allows you to play. It doesn't ban you. From my experience, those crying shitheads just don't make it to 11k. Remember, he's definitely 11k because he's a Redditor. They break away earlier. My take is toxicity and toxic behavior should not result in a ban. It, breaks the spirit of the game. Cue freedom to be an idiot. It's not frickin' lol. We have voice chat. We sometimes take each other's mothers to cinema. And I think this is normal. Be taking your mother to the cinema. This is a funny one about Mason's ban. Mason's statement isn't getting anywhere. So I'm going to make a statement. Yeah, you'll totally ace it, mate. You, a no one, making a statement is going to move the fucking dial. And he goes, for the behaviour score boost, Mason admits that he did it. So even if his game was small, he should not have done this. But he is aware of it. I do believe Mason loves Dota and cares about the integrity of the game. I mean, he literally broke the integrity of the behaviour system. So we can objectively look at someone's actions and say, do they really care? I think going forward, Mason should refrain from playing on ults for a little while as jumping back. He's banned, mate. He's permabanned. What are you talking about? This is a wake-up call. Mason can fix this. If Mason puts in real effort to fix this, King Kringle will see it. I don't think this one is worth a perma, but at the end of the day, it was only a matter of time until Valve started making examples. Yeah, the thing Reddit has been screaming for endlessly every single day. Remember, in the build-up to TI, there was a thread about Quinn every 5 minutes. Quinn, by the way, was right. Quinn proved the behaviour score was broken. Valve had to fix the behaviour score after Quinn said it was broken. And Reddit were going, ha, it's not broken. You're just a toxic shithead. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I hate Quinn. Ah. You all did that, right? And then it turned out he was right. And then you went, yeah, well, he's still a toxic shithead. Yeah, yeah. Ha. Well, yeah, okay. You wanted examples. Here's examples. No, not like that. I watch him. I don't fuck with Mason Ban. It's the man's livelihood, and people here are rejoicing. I'm pretty sure 99% of you here still won't be able to get out of your current ranks, even if all the Smurfs are taken out of the game. Mason banned because of behaviour comscore. I think it's time for we discuss the report system. Hello guys, as most of you must know, Mason just got banned for hiring a boosting behaviour system after being unable to raise his behaviour comscore by himself. The perfect time to hire a boosting system, I might add. I'm just a normal unknown player and it seems impossible to raise behaviour comscore. Super isn't. And I have an 8.7 right now. Every lost streak I lose behaviour and I don't even talk or type anything in games. For real. In every loss I get reported for communication, or even sometimes in winning games as well. By the way, spoiler, if you type nothing and they report you for typing toxic, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't move the dial. That's explicitly known. So you're lying. The main question is, why the system accept reports for communications if you don't type or open mic? If it's bad for unknown players, it's impossible for streamers, no players. How the system is going for you guys? Banned for no reason, never even interacted with Dota 2, the Mason story. Then, this is just the icing on the cake. The icing on the delicious Dota Christmas cake. By the way, spoiler, isn't it great that you actually do have Dota Christmas now? Because they brought the patch forward. Because all these dickheads whined for 3 weeks about how shit Valve were, so they went, alright, we were going to push this out, like this update out in January, but we'll give it to you, a frost of us. Have it all. Have it all, Dota community. You're a bunch of fucking cunts. Have it all. Here we go. Dear Valve. So you know it's a good one. I love it when people write letters to developers. Dear Valve, I hope this message finds you well. Dear everyone in Valve, I hope you are all well. Like, fuck me. I hope this message finds you well. I am writing to you concerning the recent permanent ban of Mason Venn from Dota 2. As an avid member of the Dota 2 community, I understand the importance of upholding the integrity of the game and the necessity of enforcing rules against behaviour score manipulation. However, I kindly request that you consider the personal and professional impact of this ban on Mason, for whom Dota 2 is not just a game, but a livelihood. Mason has been a prominent figure in the Dota 2 community for many years. His contributions to the game through both competitive play and streaming have been significant. While acknowledging the gravity of his actions, I believe that a path to redemption and a second chance could be more beneficial, not only for Mason, but also for the Dota 2 community as a whole. I propose a reconsideration of the ban, possibly replacing it with a temporary suspension. I mean, it's 15 years. That is temporary. And a set of conditions for his return. This could include public acknowledgement of his actions and a commitment to uphold the game's values, and a probationary period upon his return. I understand that Valve has always strived to maintain fair and enjoyable environment for all Dota 2 players, and I believe that offering Mason a structured path to redemption aligns with these values. It would also send a positive message about learning from mistakes and the possibility of rehabilitation. Thank you for considering this request. Have they? Probably not, mate. I respect the decisions made by Valve and trust you will consider this appeal with the fairness and attention it deserves. Best regards, Mason's mum. What the fuck are you doing, blood? What the fuck is this? Like, you wrote a fucking appeal letter on a streamer's behalf. And then there's an edit. I think it's profoundly hypocritical that Redditors condemning toxicity are in the same breath relishing at someone's misfortune and hurt. Those things aren't contradictory because the misfortune befell him after being toxic. Arteezy, Yotaro, Dendi, Gorp, along with many other professional players routinely engage in smurfing. Not why he was banned, not what you're talking about. A practice that not only undermines fair play, but also happens to circumvent the repercussions associated with low behaviour score. If you believe doing so warrants a permanent ban to the main account, then you have to ban every pro player from competing and every streamer from streaming. Spoiler, you don't have to do that. Spoiler, Valve went and talked to the pros, and the pros said, yeah, actually, fuck it, here's all our smurfs, ban any cunt who's boosting or smurfing. Unless Valve are lying, which I won't put it past the subreddit to say. So, Mason's banned. Loads of people got banned. And right now the front page is full of appeals. I'm not a smurf. I'm not a smurf. I'm really not. I've just got multiple accounts and that. I've just got multiple accounts that I play on. But I'm not smurfing. Because I'm too shit to smurf. Anyway, just before we get to the end of this bit, Mason is now in the process of learning League of Legends, which, by the way, if he thought he was sad now, if he was on the brink of tears with his ban, then 10 games of League of Legends is going to fucking break him. Someone stop him. Someone please stop him, because that is a fate no one deserves. Anyway, of course, the Dota community, they're rejoicing. They're loving it. Remember how, like, 3 weeks ago, Valve was shit because and they didn't work there, and Riot should handle Dota 2, and why don't they give us anything? And we should boycott the game, and the game's gonna die. And now everyone's just wanking off about how great fucking Frostibus is. You can see in the thing, here you go. These are all the changes. No one at all, by the way, on anywhere in Reddit has said, yeah, we all went a bit mental 3 weeks ago. There's never any introspection. There you go, everyone's like, yeah, look, woo, we can all discuss the heroes, this is so good, look at all the changes. By the way, spoiler, a metric fuck ton of changes to the game, which I told you was coming, by the way, didn't I? Didn't I say the next patch is going to be a banger? It's going to be huge. It's going to be fucking massive. Yeah, I did say that. That's just the hero changes. If you go and look at the actual fucking patch notes, like, look at how, right, remember the tantrum about how nobody works. You have to understand, Yotaro said nobody works there because when he went there, people weren't licking his ass. That was his, and everyone went, yeah, he's a pro, right? So, here it is. These are just fundamental changes to the way the game works. So these are like, Roshan, totally different now. He's got a Roar of Retribution. If attacked by the team that last killed him, Roshan will release a roar that is heard globally, which damages all units in a 900 area of effect and applies a debuff on them that increases incoming damage by 25. By the way, this is sick. This is actually wicked. Do you know why this is wicked? Because One of the things that happens is you go, oh shit, let's go do Rush. Let's quickly do Rush. Fuck, we're doing it slow. Fuck, they know. Fuck, what do we do? Oh, I'm low HP. I've used all my mana trying to take Rush. Quick, let's finish the Rush. No, let's fight them. So what do? You definitely finish the Rush. Wreck the motherfuckers outside the pit. Let's have a team fight. Suddenly we've got a bit of parity. It's going to make shit way more exciting. Fucking loving it. That's wicked. Anyway, items coming back. New items. What's a Kanda? I haven't used it. Kanda forever. I'm in. What's a Parasma? I don't know. I can't wait to find out tonight in a few hours. Voidstone is in the main shop along with Ring of Health. I love you, Valve. This is great. All of this is good. They've reworked Bloodthorn. Eternal Shroud isn't dog shit anymore, theoretically. They've reworked E-Blade. Oh, the items. The sweet, sweet items. They've brought back Royal Jelly. The best tier 1 item. It's back. R.I.P. Ring of Aquila, though. Craggy Court's back. One of the busted items. Titan Sliver. Fully game-breaking neutral item. Too good. It's gone. Good. Get out. Piece of shit. Penta-Edge Sword. Good. Spell Prism. Good. Get him out. And then updates. Oh, just every single hero's had some sort of fundamental change to it. Talents have all been changed. By the way, that fucking guy who was posting about how, like, I just blink into 5 people and suck them off with the lion talent, they've now made his mana drain damage people. I can't wait to play lion tonight. I'm in. If it wasn't good enough to finger bang people to death, I can now suck them to death. It is a fucking dream come true. It is Lion's time. That's gonna be insane. I can't wait. Right? Look at all these fucking changes. Look. This is just the game, by the way. This is just the game. This is just what they've done to the game. So that's all the stuff in the game. Yeah, Wraith King, sound, well happy. Those fucking skeletons were toxic. Brilliant. That's just the game. That is just the game. You then go and look at the official Frostivus pit. By the way, CS2 still waiting for an operation. No one working on Dota though, by the way. All of those fundamental changes are insane. Again, every time there's a huge patch like that, it's a new game, everyone's going to learn it. Spoiler, fast forward 3 to 4 weeks, everyone's going to be complaining that the meta is stagnant, everyone's figured everything possible out, the game is shit, the game is dead, and Valve are cunts. We're going to get there again in 4 weeks. It is the endless cycle of Dota entitlement, right? But anyway, for now, it is Dota Christmas. We're all having a good time. Look at Frostivus. Look what they've done. There's treasure chests that you can earn. There's keys to unlock the chests that you can earn. Look at King Kringle. Look at this Christmas-themed Arcana. Sure, maybe it is a cynical rework of that other one that we've already got, but it doesn't matter. Look at the gingerbread baby Roshan. Look at the Guardian Snow Angel with a baby Crystal Maiden on its back. Look at the Primal Beast as the Abominable Snowman. Jingle Fist, which was my grinder profile name. It's back. Frosty the Sawman. It's a little Pudge. An adorable Pudge. Fuck that hero, you toxic as fuck. Lumpo and Rupertus. Snapfire. Ancient Apparition as a snowman. So much work. Right, all little frosty effects on your weapons, new emoticons, right? This is just all the other stuff. Look, you're getting hats. We all love hats. And then they've updated the client. It tells you now how long left on a TP. Super good to know, actually. That's wicked. What a wicked change. And more ability reticles. The tooltips have all been updated. Even tells you when Wisdom Runes are going to respawn on the timers now. Spoiler, you should be timing that yourself, you lazy dickheads. But it's in the game now. They've updated the profiles so people can make more sexually inappropriate profile pics. They've changed the armory. They've added new sets to Dota Plus. Look at Big Mommy Thighs. Look at Big Mommy Thighs. It's actually ridiculous how much they put into this. And they brought it fucking forward by weeks because these losers in the Dota community fucking wept about how nobody worked on the game anymore. It's just insane how pandered to the Dota community is. in comparison to any other game Valve do. And I cannot believe that the one thing you'll pretend you scream for, ban the streamers, ban the alts, ban the smurfs, ban the toxic people, you're now going to cry about that as well. You people are fucking diseased. There is more content in that patch, and I'm only talking about content here, than CS2 has had in totality since it was released. You are diseased. You have to stop this entitlement. You get it all. And by the way, in January or February, they'll probably put in some sort of game, because someone's going to go, shouldn't we have, like, Aghanims, the Aghanims maze? Shouldn't we have that? Where's Dietide? Give Dietide. It's going to be that shit again. It's fucking pathetic. I don't know what you want from a game developer, but this is sick. This is actually sick.